Hey, what's up? Hack Trades here. I just want to do a market update on Bitcoin and just give you guys my thoughts and scenarios I think can play out and all that good stuff. So let's hop into it. Bitcoin's currently sitting at 84K. Kind of just been sitting here for a while, last couple of days. Pretty bad price action, honestly, pretty boring. Um, but the main area that I'm looking at, so let me just give you my overall thoughts. So simply, I think it's more probable that we see um, 88, 89K, 90K before we see over here 78K, 79K. And that's simply based on what I'm looking at, based on my TA. That's simply just what I'm looking at as the higher probability situation. Now, just because it's the higher probability situation doesn't mean that it's going to happen. There's just a higher probability of it happening based on my TA. This is just my personal opinion. But let me give you my reasoning for that. So 88K, 89K, that's a huge level. Number one reason, we do have this anchored VWAP all the way from this high right here, this big manipulation event after this high. As you can see, this VWAP has been slamming price down every single time it comes up to it, slams it down. Every single time, slams it back down, slams it back down. So this is a very key resistance level that I'm looking at. And I don't like to just have one resistance level or one level that I'm looking at. I like to have a bunch of confluence with my trade, with my like trading levels and key levels that I'm looking at. So this level also is in confluent with our golden pocket pulled from this swing high right here all the way down to this low right here. So it's also in confluent with that, and it's also in confluent with this value area high of the range that we're looking at. This is the current range that I think Bitcoin's in. So this is the value area high, the range that I'm looking at. So there's a bunch of confluence up here. We have the VWAP, we have the value area high, we have the golden pocket. So this is a big resistance level in my opinion. So if we do wiggle our way up here, I think this is very high probability area for a lower high to put in and to continue this overall downtrend on the higher time frames. Based on the resistance, the the levels, the key resistance, the major confluences that we have, this is a very key area to put in a lower high. But it's also a very key level where we could start to see higher prices if we gain support, if we get above here, back test it, and actually see upwards momentum here, then that will be a very good sign that I'm looking at, because this is a major area that I'm looking at. But yeah, that's scenario one. We come up here, get rejected, and send it to lower prices. Scenario number two, we come up here, back test this, and then we send it higher. But that's just saying if price goes up here. What if we just send it nuke it right now? Because it's always the probability. So right now, price is just sitting at this POC. As I said in multiple other videos, POC is a magnet for price. Magnet likes to come to the POC and just stay there because that's where the most volume is traded on the price. This is the fair value. This is the fairest value for Bitcoin right now because we are in this volume area. This is the fairest price for Bitcoin. It's not undervalued or overvalued right now. But I do think whichever way Bitcoin decides to go, I think it will send it. For example, let's just go to the daily, or actually the 8 hour. So here, when price just consolidates for a while, there's a massive move incoming. Okay, because you're building so much liquidity on the top side and the bottom side, that there's going to be a massive liquidation and a massive move. So here you can see that we were just consolidating for a really long time. I think this was like for 3 weeks. And then out of nowhere, we just come here and we just absolutely send it. And everybody's like, what happened? And you get this huge liquidation down and then a liquidation up too, and then lower, and it makes it super volatile. So yeah, right now we're simply just consolidating, and we've been consolidating for the past 3 or 4 days now. So we can't consolidate forever. The more we consolidate, the bigger the next move is, whether it's up or whether it's down, the bigger the next move is. That's just something I've noticed in my years of trading. The longer you consolidate, the bigger that the move is going to be. So yeah, that's my personal thoughts about that. But we are in an uptrend here on the lower time frames. We're still in a downtrend on the higher time frames. So if you're, so I'd be looking for shorter term longs based on this uptrend. You don't want to be shorting on the downtrend unless you're looking at a higher time frame perspective and you're looking to short based on the higher time frames. But the reason why I said it's more likely that we come up here rather than under this value area first is simply because if you go to the daily 16-hour, we have these nice bull divs, okay? We have nice bull divs on our 16-hour, 12-hour, daily, even almost kind of on your 2-day. You kind of have these snake eye green dots on your 2-day. But for me, this high right here, this is pretty random. Well, let me pull anchored view up from here. Yeah, this high is very random because there's no resistance here. There's basically no resistance here. That I can see. Like, there's no resistance. All the resistance is up here, and we basically just front ran that and then came back down. So my personal opinion is maybe we wiggle over here, maybe we do some weird stuff, but I think it's more probable that we come up here and then maybe get a rejection, maybe not, maybe send it higher. But simply based on, like, you have the 8-hour money flow coming up. Look how long this thing's been in the red for. Coming to the upside, bull div. You also have our 8-hour VWAP coming up, so maybe that gets you the push to the upside. But right now, I would be very careful because there are a bunch of mixed signals that I'm looking at. Right now, some say, like, maybe this could happen or maybe this could happen. I really don't know right now, but I can say that it's more probable that we see this price on Bitcoin rather than this price based on my TA. This is based from my perspective. Just because it can come here first, that's the less likely thing to happen, in my opinion. As traders, we trade based on probabilities. We don't trade on for certain. We don't trade on that. We play the probabilities game. So you can't be 100% certain on your trades. You have to play the probabilities, use good risk management in your trade, and that's how you become a profitable trader. You don't become a profitable trader by being 100% certain, saying this will happen, this will not happen. You play the probabilities. You say it's more likely for this to happen than this to happen. Even though we can't come here first, I'm gonna play the probabilities games here. I'm gonna play it. So right now I am in a tiny long, not big size at all, because we did come down here. Let me go to lower time frames. We did come into this golden pocket with some bullish divergence, so I did take a little long at it just for kind of fun, but I don't really I would have liked to see like a bigger bullish divergence on the hourly, but we didn't get that. So I'm not very confident that this local low is in. I think it's higher probability that would come down here and then something like that. That makes more sense to me, coming on to Sunday as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'm in a tiny long, but I'll be looking for longs here if we get something like this, like a bolded like that. But yeah, it's just my overall thoughts. Don't trade based on what I say. I would just take it with a grain of salt. But again, those are just my thoughts. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like the video, subscribe if you want, and thanks for watching.